Don't touch that dial now. We're just getting started.
Well, hello. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're stopping by. We're going to talk about Highguard for a minute because since I'm a
fraud, shills, grifters,
I feel like I need to talk about Highguard. Anyways, last night I decided to install Highguard on the PS5 Pro. The main reason I wanted to is because I follow Nib on, well, I follow him on X. And there was actually something he posted that Astro Cyborg was able to capture. And let me go ahead and preface this. I like Nib. This isn't attack on Nib. This isn't me hating Nib. This is me just be like, okay, that's a weird take, and your take is definitely strange. But anyways, I read this, and this is what Astro Cyborg was saying. It's like Nib has been on Crossfire with Mag multiple times and somehow thought that he was playing Highguard on PC, which he's not. Mag was playing on PS5 Pro. And basically right here says maybe on PC. Let's actually go a little bit right here. This is what I kind of stem from. So Highguard cooked with his art direction and sense of scale. Gorgeous, evident even from the tutorial. And it does look nice. I'm not going to lie. It does look nice, but it's nothing special. Can see reviews are mixed, but on PS5 Pro, it's been solid so far. Enjoying it more than I expected. Feels pretty fresh, huge, and liberating. And I'm sure we have some great replies here. Nah, Nib is retarded. You clearly playing a different release in the Pro than me. Zero Pro enhancement. I don't think there was Pro enhancements at all. I have it installed on PC and Xbox. I haven't tried them out yet. But I'll go ahead and tell you, playing it on last night, it wasn't bad. The only problems I had was some input stuff, but that could be because of the fact I have fat fingers, and I'm not the biggest fan of the DualSense. Maybe it's because I'm biased, because I always liked the Xbox controller. I'm an Xbox fanboy, oh my god! I guess I'm a
fraud, shills, grifters.
Anyways, no, I've just always liked the Xbox controller. It's just something I prefer. But I'm not saying the DualSense is bad. It's not. It's not at all. It's actually a nice controller. But anyways, take a look. Like, there's a lot of people that's got to question that. I played it just to see what the fuss was about. I played the training, which is kind of lengthy, I thought, and kind of condescending as well. I also played, I think, 2 or 3 matches. I got some trophies, lost every single one of them, I think. And I had some problems with it. And a lot of people have spotted it out. But whenever I seen this right here, and again, this is not me hating on Nib, and I know immediately I'm going to get attacked with low IQ or bad reading comprehension, or you follow these people, you're a zealot or console hater or something stupid like that, because that's what fanboys do to, I don't know, I guess it's their way of like trying to get out of the argument. And so instead of actually talking about it, they just label you as such and such, or say, I don't know, you're guilty by association because of people you follow, which, by the way, I follow Nib and a lot of PlayStation guys and PC guys, Xbox guys, Nintendo guys, indie devs, politicians, all kinds of shit. So I don't really have a supreme loyalty. I don't have a guilty by association party like I've been accused of for a while. But anyways, when I read this right here, Nib, he's talking about Mag and his PC, and this is one of his replies. Maybe on PC, but that's why you go console. Too many PC ports are shite. PS5 Pro here, and not a single glitch, bug, or issue. And here's a reply. Are you pretending the Mag Show was playing on PC, dude? I hope not. I'm thinking the PS5 Pro, since he's been buying them, but at worst he's on Series X, LOL. Out of all your conversation, when has he ever said games on PC? Right there, dude's capping for a game. I watched the Mag Show and Colt not be able to play the stream because it was a broken mess. And there was a lot of people that said it was a broken mess on their end. Now, like I said, I played it on the Pro. I didn't play it on the Series X yet, or the PC, or standard PS5, because I just didn't. And I don't think I'm going to, because I really don't want to spend that much time on it. But what that kind of made me think, and it bugs me that he has this as his argument. Just stay on consoles, or just buy a PC, bro. The problem with that is that's not actually a good argument. You're basically rewarding bad game industry behavior by saying, hey, you don't like it, just buy a Pro. Instead, what you should be saying, you should be listening to those people and their grievances upon that. See, whenever they put a bad PC report, like a PC port or other console ports, that's not good. That's not a good thing. That's not console war shit. I know you guys use it as material for console wars, but that's not something we should just accept. That means they purposely put out a game that didn't work properly on other platforms. So instead of saying, hey, do better, release a game when it's in good shape on all platforms, you're saying, hey, spend $700-800 on a console, but you may not want to, and play the game that way. That's not a solution. That's not. That's a band-aid. That's rewarding developers and publishers for bad behavior. You shouldn't be doing it. You're smarter than that. I know you're probably looking at me and, you consider yourself an intellectual. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, you might have liked it, and that's fine, but you shouldn't disregard other people's experiences with it. And I've seen that, like, going through here, those name calling and stuff like that. We're like, oh, what platform did you play it on? I don't think that fucking matters. The game should work fine on all platforms. The game shouldn't be put out if there are known issues. There's a reason why they put like minimal specs and everything, and I get that. Some people on PC, they don't set their shit right. But most of the time on PC, they have things that automatically optimize within the settings. It's not a hard thing to do. It's really not. But I don't think you should actually be saying, hey, it doesn't work on your console, buy a console that I like and playing on currently. Because that doesn't read as an argument. That reads as an ad. And I see you do this all the time. You're not the only one that does it either. So there's Xbox guys that do it. There's PC guys that do it. There's Nintendo guys that do it. PlayStation guys do it. There's Macintosh people that do it. They all fucking do it. And it's not a really good way to actually, tell the gaming industry that, hey, there's definitely problems here and you should fix them. We shouldn't be just laying down and being compliant to bad industry behavior. That shouldn't be a fucking thing. And I don't think that helps if your whole answer or solution is just buy a PlayStation. That's not the answer. There's a reason why some people didn't buy a PlayStation. Just like some people don't buy Xboxes or PC. That's just not their preferred way to play. But that doesn't mean we should be accepting garbage from any game developer or publisher. That's not the right thing to do. That's not. And like I said, every time you read shit like that, it reads like a fucking ad. It doesn't read like a actual constructed, even if you use ChatGPT, which I'm not saying. Some people joke and say you do. I don't know if you do or not. I really don't give a fuck if you do or not. But it does bother me, but that was your actual solution. Just stick to consoles. When you have a preferred place to play, maybe that's not their preferred place to play. But like I said, we shouldn't be just say, hey, here's your solution. Buy more stuff so you can play this crap. Nobody wanted it to begin with. And when we take a look, actually, right now, we're going to kind of walk away from this. But you see, the mainstream journalism people, Destructoid, you can even look here on Metacritic. Let's actually take a look, see what the actual reviews are. So let's go take a look at user reviews. Looks like they're kind of wild. Can we do, let's do positive reviews. They don't really have a lot of reviews, do they? That's fucking crazy. I see it was a PC Gamer, Highguard's fine when you don't have the internet and you're telling you it's nasty. Well, you said that same thing about Assassin's Creed Shadows, Concord and stuff like that, something similar, not the exact thing, but basically you have like the mainstream journalists, even like Jeff Galey and all these big guys in the journalism circles, like, oh, don't attack these games are good, which are not. Because here's the thing you have to think of. The publisher and the developers need to think of this. You're not making games for journalists. This isn't Hollywood where you make your Oscar bait. That's not how it works here. Your job is to listen to the players and give them what they want. And they want a good product. They want certain things, but you're not giving it to them. And on top of that, you're just releasing garbage. How many of these live service titles have come out these last few years that's failed? How many people is going to lose their jobs? I see them losing their jobs. This studio, and it should have been like that. I don't know what they thought. Maybe it was a good idea 10 years ago, but it's not a good thing now. And if you take a look, see if we can bring up some this is from IGN. Let's take a look at the gameplay.
No, when enemies get near their dome before you plant, there's like grace period. Shoot right in. Yeah, I'm gonna start breaking into their walls and see if I have a zip line. Oh no. That's so... I'm just trying to break into it. I might know.
It's go time. Dome's cracked.
Oh dang, Cora. Their Kai's on Grays. This is rough. Oh, I do not envy the other team right now.
The thing is, like, you can watch that footage and you can kind of compare it to like Overwatch, Valorant, Realm Royale, Fortnite, CSGO, and there's many more. I think Paladins still exists? Smite. This game is like a homunculus of 5 or 6 different games into one thing. There's a lot of problems with it. One of the big things is the 3v3. That's a problem to me because I feel like the maps are way too big for what's going on. There's not really anything to do on the map for the 2-minute allotment you have to gather loot, materials, then eventually go for the shield breaker, which the shield breaker is the catalyst that opens up the domes and lets you go in and try to destroy the base. There's a lot of dead air in the game, and it's not good. Now, if the game had like, I don't know, NPCs or creatures you can find, and I've seen this, a lot of people say this, and I actually agree with them. When you're actually going through, like, trying to get your loot and stuff like that, one thing, you don't even have to buy stuff from the trader. I know in the trader, you can, like, get materials, you can go bash a thing, kind of similar to, like, Fortnite, where you're gathering materials to, in this case, you're buying shit. To upgrade your weapons and stuff like that. You really don't need to because you have all these loot chests all over the fucking place. And after every round, they increase in terms of their rarity or how hard they hit when you shoot them or melee, whatever. There's just this time and space where nothing's really going on. You're just running around with your horse. You're getting your loot. There's nothing to shoot at until finally everything opens up. Everybody's going for the shield breaker, then everybody's going for the actual castles or whatever the fuck we're gonna call them. And that's when the action does take off. But I still think at that time, at least in my opinion, it should be like, I don't know, maybe 10v10. The least would be 5v5 and make the maps even smaller. There's just way too much dead air that's going on in the game. A lot of stuffing and busy work, but doesn't really amount to anything. And that's the bad thing about it. Mechanically, it runs just fine. If you played any shooter in the last 10 years or, I don't know, hero shooter or whatever, you know what you're kind of getting into. We've kind of perfected controls for the most part. But my problem is I have fat hands when I was playing on the DualSense. I kept on hitting the melee button when I'm trying to shoot, but I think that's more of a DualSense issue in my hands because I'm more accustomed to the Xbox controller. And I know you're a
fraud, shills, grifters
for like an Xbox and you're guilty by association. I don't think you should just disregard people's opinions on this game just because, hey, maybe they played like a couple matches and you think that's not enough time. I'm sorry. That is enough time. Some people can even look at the game. It's like, I'm not interested in that. Then they can look at feedback from other players. It's like, yeah, it looks like crap. I will go say that the game was, I kind of feel like, I think it got so much pressure on it that it didn't need. especially when they decided to tie this game to the Game Awards as this is the final trailer to hype everyone up. I don't think they should have done that. I think if they'd done this, like, what they should have done is shadow dropped it like Apex Legends, not made a big deal about it, and just see what happens then. But once you had that game in the crosshairs, and a lot of people are already attacking it with the woke, non-woke bullshit, and not only does the game, it doesn't really separate itself from other shooters in this genre. It's sad. But if I'm going to tell you too, like, there is a little bit fun to be had in the game, and it sucks. It really does suck, because when you see this, let's go back to Highguard here on Metacritic. It's got overwhelming dislike. Now, I don't know how they work with critic reviews. I would assume probably just like Steam, which, by the way, is like mostly negative with 20,471. I'm sure there's some. Here we go. Wait 2 months. I wonder what the actual. Let's do something here. Let's do something just really quick. I want to see what AI says. Can you give? Let's ask Grok. So, can you give me the majority? Let's use the word majority opinion that most gamers have about Highguard. Let's kind of see what it says. We'll probably compile it. And I like using these tools because it kind of compiles everything. It looks at it. It's like, hey, and all these people do it. I think I spelled Highguard. No, that's about right. Let's see what it says while we're waiting. But yeah, you look at the actual game, the gameplay and everything like that, like the graphics, they look fine. To me, it just looks like, I don't know, Overwatch or Paladins, Realm Reborn. And I also got like a little bit of Dishonored. I know it sounds weird, but it kind of gave me this like Dishonored look to it, which I like, because I'm not going to say the game looks bad. It doesn't look that bad. It looks generic, and it plays generic. That's just how I see it. But I mean, let's kind of take a look, see what they're zero. This game, I really hate this game. Korean House DS is better. I've seen people even say, like, bring Concord back. I don't know if I was doing it jokingly, but I'll go ahead and tell you, it's better than Concord. At least it has that going for it. Let's go ahead and see if it's still searching. It's still searching. It means it's got a lot of shit, or it's just really fucking slow. But let's kind of look at some more reviews while we're sitting here. It's a lot of zeros, some ones. This game is one more from industry. Is so generic, similar, other. That's not a sentence. That's just garbage. What's the? All right, spoiler alert. This review came spoilers. If you wait too long enough, you might get a match. Then you'll go back to the lobby, hoping there is enough players for another match. The game dies before it was born. What was Jeff thinking? I think that's a problem too, because Jeff Keighley, like, he banked on this really hard. I kind of wish he didn't, because he kind of made himself look like a laughingstock. All right, let's go ahead and look at it. So this is what Grok is saying. Highguard, likely what you meant. That's what I meant, because I spelled it wrong because I'm retarded. It's a free-to-play PvP raid shooter that launched on Steam January 2026. It's a 3v3 shooter where teams ride mounts, fly across large maps, mine resources, and raid enemy bases and to destroy its shield generator. The majority opinion amongst gamers is negative to mixed, often calling it mediocre, or outright disappointing. It peaked with, which I was shocked. So even right there, it done way better than Concord. So this eclipsed Concord. Concord's still not in the conversation. This is like if Concord did better, it released a sequel and it fixed everything. And people hopped onto it just to realize it's just more Concord, if that even makes sense. It's still Concord, but this isn't Concord. It picked around 97,000 concurrent players, but quickly dropped off over 90%, with Steam reviews mostly negative based on 27,000 plus total reviews. On X, popular posts mock its rapid player loss and lack of staying power, while semantic searches for opinions show frustration. Gunplay, snappy, fun in fights, and rewarding. It kind of is. It kind of is. It does have good gunplay. Bland guns, pointless abilities, feels generic like Concord Paladins. Yes. Unique rating, mount ideas. Quick wins can be satisfying. I didn't win, but it is kind of fun going on the map on your horse. I thought that was kind of cool. You have like zip lines. But here's one of the biggest problems is maps are too big for 3v3, and I think that's a consensus most people see. Repetitive losses, you have your mining and gear phase. I think that's tedious. I think it's stuffing. Needs friends, or it's miserable solo. And that's a problem. I don't have very many friends, so I did play it, and a lot of them didn't want to play Highguard. Runs okay for some, as a comment. Poor optimization, lag, ugly UI, missing features, no boss relievers, combat. Feels unreleased. It does. It feels fairly. I feel like it was just put out to die. The overall pill, fun with friends, potential if updated. No identity in oversaturated hero shooter market, boring after hours, Midgard. Yeah, I think it's pretty fucking accurate. Let's read this last bit. Defenders minority blame hate train on review bombing by non-players, but data shows most reviewers played it. Steam requires 1 hour. Critics say it lacks innovation, released too early, and can't compete with polished games like Apex Legends from a similar dev. Dev had 1 year plan with free updates, so it might improve, but right now, most gamers see it as skippable slop. You always love that word slop that's been overused to a fucking oblivion. I don't think this will last for a year. I don't think the shelf life for this game is a year. And I would love to be wrong, because I like to root for the underdogs most of the time. And I don't want to be wrong here, because I kind of feel like there's going to be a problem with this staying. I don't care how many shills, and we'll use shills. I think somebody said, what was it, Shroud, like the game. You've seen bigger content creators like Tim the Tapman's like, nah, I'm not going to play this. They played it. I think a lot of them were paid to play it. I guess if you're going to secure the bag and be a real
fraud, shills, grifters,
you might as well do it with the best. But a lot of people are just dropping out of it. And that's my problem. I played a few matches. It wasn't rewarding. And it wasn't anything special. And I don't care what system you're playing it on. When the majority is saying it's unoptimized, that's you being disingenuous and not wanting to listen to them. Instead, you want to sell them a console that they might not want. We shouldn't be rewarding that kind of behavior. And for like all the big mainstream generalists that are hopping on here and trying to shield from hate, you guys are losing your jobs because of that behavior. You're not being authentic. You're not being honest. You're just being a shill. An actual
fraud, shills, grifters.
Because that's what you are. And the sad thing about this is there's going to be many people that worked. This is their dream job. To be a journalist or be game journalist, an actual gaming journalist. Which is kind of cool because I had a conversation with a couple people earlier about mainstream gaming journalists and how you can't really trust them anymore. And I think a lot of people still kind of lean on them, but they're kind of dying away. But I feel bad for the studio because these people probably thought they had something special. And these had alumni worked on Titanfall, they worked on Apex Legends and many other big games, even Concord. And I think some people even did Halo and Call of Duty. Wouldn't shock me. So I think these people probably thought they was the dream team making this one game. But I think they've been misled, honestly. And I feel bad because this studio might close down. And a lot of people are going to have egg on their face. But we've seen this happen a lot. You've seen the closures of studios. You've seen many games that failed to meet market expectations. You've seen games completely shut off because people just wasn't there. It's bad. It's a bad thing, and I hate it. I really do. Because I hate to see people lose their jobs because of this shit. That's what I thought. It wasn't for me. Maybe it's for you. If you like Highguard, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you stick around. I hope the game becomes successful. I really do. This is not me saying I hope it dies. I don't want it to die. Because if it dies, that means that studio's gone. They might not have another chance. It might deter them from ever working in the industry again. But like I said, you should at least be a little bit honest and be able to listen to people and their grievances instead of saying you're low IQ or bad reading comprehension or just buy this. That's not a solution. And that's you not wanting to listen. And if you're blaming people for the people they follow, you shouldn't be doing the whole guilty by association logic, especially if you claim to be smart and an intellectual. Don't fucking do that, because I'm not smart. I'm not an intellectual, and I'll take my L's fucking daily. And I'll stick up to it. If I'm wrong, I'm going to tell you I'm fucking wrong. If you want to talk something about the gaming industry and you and I disagree with it, yeah, let's so be it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You're wrong, you should own up to it. Alright guys, love you very much. I will see you soon.